2. Hey everybody, Eric here for Biz Talk, and we are back, and I am with Shoumo. I'm going to butcher your last name.
Shoumo Ganguly.
Ganguly, did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay, and Shoumo is a business consultant with Obligent.
Obligent Consulting, yes.
So what is it, Obligent or Obligent?
Obligent.
Obligent, okay, Obligent.
Not an English word, but...
So he's obliged to help you.
Yeah.
So we are sitting here talking about, and Mark, watch the clock. 15 on the clock, please. We're here talking to him today about some of the things he does. In particular, he has a really amazing workshop that I think a lot of small businesses need, right? You're doing, and you'll tell us a little bit about what you do, about who you are, but I want to jump into this because it's this, how does the small business sell to corporate America? And that's huge,
exactly,
right? Everybody's
exactly.
clamoring at the door, and we're not talking about signing up to Amazon. You know what I mean? We're talking about actually getting out of there and selling a product or a service.
Or a service. Say a physical trainer who wants to sell to, say, an IBM, say an IBM or a GE or a Prudential. They have a building in which there's a gym, and this physical trainer wants to sell his program to these guys. Okay. And most of the time what happens is they get a meeting with someone in that organization, and the physical trainer doesn't really know what the job function, role of that guy is, but he has that meeting. It goes great, and then it is crickets. And he is lost as to how can a meeting which went so well not lead to the second conversation. Forget the job, but not even go to the second conversation. And this is a pattern which I have seen repeat over and over again. And from my background, I have been in that other side of the table too, where I have been part of the team that speaks with the consultants, the placement consultants, or when it comes to hiring, or when it is signing contracts.
Right.
And I know what those guys in the corporate jobs they are looking for.
So you've got the inside secret to navigating to those right people. Like, you know what to look for and who to talk to.
And if you don't really get the information, how do you find a way to get it? So if you ask someone, how do I get this contract? So there will always be a stone wall, right? Or who are the people I need to talk to? No one will want to give away those names so that you can go and pester them.
Right.
But if you ask them, what's the process that we are following, then it becomes something which the guy will be comfortable in talking about, because you're talking about compliance and process, and that's all that they are about. So that then leads on to the information or the identification of who the people are.
All right, so I'm gonna pause you right there because I don't want you to give the whole workshop away, right? So, we need people to come to the workshops. We need people to call you. So, tell us a little bit about your background, because you mentioned you were there before. You were in these small businesses positions. So tell us a little bit about how you got to that knowledge base and that secret sauce.
Okay. So I have been in the business environment since 1984.
Business.
And right. I have been in consulting since 91. So I have been around the block several times with working for organizations like the PricewaterhouseCoopers, the IBM Business Consultings of the world, and a lot of tech consulting too. And so at first it was all about, when I first started off, it was all about solving problems, etc. And then as you go up the corporate ladder, things change. And it changed to a certain level where in 2013, my doctor prescribed a change in job.
Prescribed
change. So he told me, Shoumo, I prescribe a change in job. So which made me look outside of whatever I was doing. And I figured out, over 90% of the economy was small businesses by count.
Right.
50% by GDP was small businesses. And most small businesses go out of business between the third to seventh year of their life.
Right.
So that's where I thought like this should be an area where I could make a difference. It would give me a sense of purpose.
Okay.
And that's how I got into this whole space.
Right.
And so these are like what I have been through, and this workshop that we are talking about sort of adds up all the data points that I have gathered, not only in my corporate life, but in the small business space that I have been inhabiting since 2015.
Right. So you're pretty much doing this for the last decade.
Yes.
You've made it past the 7-year mark. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you're here. What you're doing is clearly successful, and you know you're a person people want to speak to, because like this is whether it's consulting or mentorship, or there's always somebody out there small business wise that's looking to get information from other small successful businesses, and there's a point where we all have to pay for it. I mean,
right.
When it's time to level up, it's time to level up. So dialing back a little bit too let's go back, and again, I don't want to give too much away of your workshop, right? Because there's somebody over there taking notes being like, I'm waiting for the secret, I'm waiting for the secret. And we've had these conversations, as a matter of fact. There's the big thing you see on the internet right now. I'm going to get you 40,000 subscribers if you do this one thing. And first of all, for me, from a marketing perspective, subscribers don't mean shit.
Right.
Right? Because it's conversions, it's loyalty, it's creating that client base, it's continued extensive engagement. It's great to have 1 million people come to you and follow you on social media, but how many of those become your clients and how many of them stay as your clients? And it's hard work. Like running a business is hard work. And so when you see ads like that out there and then it doesn't work for people, they often get discouraged because they give up. And I can imagine after that first interview with corporate America, people give up. So where's the hard work part come in?
It's just not the hard work. It's also the working smart versus working hard. It's there's this whole myth of hard work guaranteeing output.
Right.
So if you are doing the same mistake over and over again and being diligent about it, it doesn't really make a difference, right? And that's a lot of things which are like people getting bad advice and then getting worse advice, or getting a different flavor of that advice. And whenever it comes to strategy, small businesses feel that they don't need strategy, they don't have time for strategy. But strategy is not really hard work, it's mindset, right? It's like, do I have a niche? Do I know what that other person is saying? So if you go through a set of, it's not rocket science, but you need to be cognizant of it and understand how it applies to your business. So I can actually give away the whole secret in 15 minutes, but it is, and if you watch the TED Talks, you would assume that people will go away, leave with all the brilliant ideas and be able to implement it. But it's just not the ideas, it's the application of that idea in your business. And that's where the work translates into the dollars.
Yeah.
And
I like that you said that. It's the application of the work in your business. It's your business.
Right.
When we were, back in the day in capital markets, when we were doing all kinds of like financing for businesses and buildings and this and that, people would come out and they say, well, why didn't I get that loan? Or, why didn't I get it? Joe down the street got it.
Exactly.
And the answer is well, Joe's Joe.
Joe is Joe.
Joe
Right.
is Joe. You didn't qualify because of this. And that's the same thing across the board. Something you can do the technical steps, but have you applied it to fit your business model, your existing way of doing things, your methodologies too, right? So I'm glad you said that, because that's a big myth that you can just plug and play.
Right, and that business model, I have spoken with aspiring business owners who have a business plan. Say the financials of it has been drawn up by the CPA, the marketing by a marketing firm, and the architect has drawn up a floor plan, and none of these people have spoken with each other. And so they don't know what, like there isn't all the ducks are not in a row.
Yeah, and that's not like the past. That still
Right.
happens today.
Today it happens. Someone goes on a web search, downloads a template, does another set of Google search, fills up some jargon, and they feel that they have everything that they needed.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. Like you can go to Fiverr and then buy a business plan for $5, right? Like, will that work? Well, definitely no.
Yeah. Oh no, we love Fiverr,
Right.
but it's that okay. So let me dial that back for a minute, because everybody in their business journey is at a different place,
Right.
and you know what? Something like Fiverr has a place for someone
Definitely.
just starting out. There's
Definitely.
absolutely fulfilling some want or need.
Definitely.
Okay, and I'm being told we got 5 minutes, so we could talk about this all day. But it's when you're getting beyond that place, when you're running in that hamster wheel or running around in circles or doing the same mistake over and over again, you have to pause and say, is my Fiverr, is my Amazon buys, or am I at the point where I need to level up my game? And that's when things like what you do come into play, where we are beyond the resources of the internet, and we're beyond the resources of the government agencies, or maybe they're just not there. We're not getting every little thing we need. Now we need to get into guys like, hey, Shoumo, what do you do, and how do we do it? And that's where this, because everything works hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
But Shoumo, how can everybody find you on the web?
So a couple of places which is where it's quite easy to find me. One is do a Google search on my name.
Spell it.
Saumya. That's the legal way that I write it. Saumya space Ganguly, Ganguli. Most likely you will find my LinkedIn profile up there. You will find the Obligent alignable profile. So those are good places, and if you go to my LinkedIn profile, go to the Obligent page, you will see that you can send a message without even knowing my email ID or phone number. You don't need it. You can send a message from there. So that's a very good place to go to. Obviously, I do have a website, obligent.com. But LinkedIn is where most of the people find me very easily.
All right, everybody, thank you very much. And follow up with Shoumo and check out procurementcon.com for our next big event, which is we have one. By the time this gets put out there, we'll have had an event which Shoumo will have taught at. But by the time this gets put up, we have Procurement Con Atlantic City happening in November of this year, where Shoumo will be bringing you the secret to success.
Sure, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Oh, we didn't record.